Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode in my Football Manager series. This is episode number 17, and today we are starting off Season 3 with Swansea in the Premier League with our first Premier League game of the new year against the newly promoted Crystal Palace. But before we play that game, though, we've made a lot of signings to the new team. I'm going to show you who they are and show you what the squad is looking like going into Season 3. So of course in the last episode we ended Season 2 with Swansea on a very disappointing run of form. We lost 3 on the bounce and failed to qualify for the Europa League. So coming into Season 3, with my contract due to expire in a year's time, I'm of the opinion that if we don't get Swansea into Europe for next season, Season 4, that Hugh Jenkins may well give me the sack. Because right now we're sort of stationary with Swansea, we're not really doing much, and I feel as though they need to take the next step. So because of that, I feel as though this season is going to be a make or break one for my career as Swansea manager. And because of that, we signed a few players, sold a few players, and as per usual, I'll keep the signing separate just for now and show you the departures. So on the right hand side, as you can see, quite a few players have left the club. Loads of players leaving on free transfers and getting released from their contracts too. Just squad players mainly, Josh Vickers, Botti Biabi, these sort of players really. But some notable departures as well. Nathan Dyer's left the club. I released him, I think last week in the game. And Nathan Dyer's been at the club for a very, very long time. Of course, spent the first season on loan at Leicester, but in total, it's been, 9 years, maybe even 10 years at Swansea. Pretty crazy. So I didn't just release him and just think, oh, well, I don't really care. It was one of those moves, like with Rangel and Britton, I was thinking, maybe I should keep him around because he knows the club inside out. But then I thought, he's on like 35 grand a week. He's not that good. I don't want to keep him and give him a new deal. And he was out of contract, so I just released him, let him go into the wild, and Dyer's gone. So the fans may not like it. I'm selling all of their God, but that's just how it is. I'm a ruthless manager. That's how it is. If you're not good enough anymore, you can go. So Dyer's left the club, and also Paul Dummett's left the club for 750 grand. He's gone to Bournemouth in the Championship. Of course, I signed this guy. Why did I sign him? Paul Dummett. I signed this guy back in Season 1 just as a squad player, and he was just a complete waste of money. I bought him for 725 grand, and he played 4 games for us. Had an unsuccessful loan spell with Forest last year, and now he's gone to Bournemouth for 750 grand. So Dummett's left. And I just realised I made a profit on him as well. I've made 25 grand profit on selling Paul Dummett. One of my worst, if not my worst signing ever. I've made a profit on the guy. Wow, that's probably my best managerial achievement so far, making a profit on Paul Dummett. But anyways, left the club, and thank goodness for that. And also as well, some more notable departures too. Modou Barrow has left to Crystal Palace for £2 million, and this was an interesting deal because I liked having Barrow as a squad player here. But in the first season, he was fantastic. He played 26 games, quite a lot of starts were on the right wing as well, and also up top, and he scored 12 goals. That's not bad, is it, for a youngster playing striker and sometimes on the right wing? 12 goals in 26 games and 3 assists too. But he had second season syndrome because last year he had 6 games in the league, all coming off the bench, and in the cup he did alright, 4 goals and 6, not bad at all. But he just wasn't the same player. So I thought Barrow's out of contract next year. Palace came in, newly promoted side, said we'd give you 2 mil, and I said fair enough. So Barrow's left the club, he's gone to Selhurst Park, and I'm sure I'll regret it when he scores the winner against us today in stoppage time. But yeah, Barrow's left the club, and I don't mind really for 2 mil. We'll get him out, and he deserves to get some more game time because he wasn't going to get here as well. And also as well, probably the most notable departures, Lucas Fabianski has left the club. The Polish goalkeeper has gone to Brighton for £2.5 million. Now he was on 50 grand a week here, and of course after the signing of Timo Horn, he's lost his place in the first team. He wasn't going to get it back. He's 32 years old. He's a very good goalkeeper, but the truth of the matter is he wasn't going to get game time here, and I didn't see the point in having 2 goalkeepers on high contracts. You know, we're not big enough as a club to do that yet, and to rotate goalkeepers in like the league and Europe and the cup or whatever if you wanted to do that, or just have 2 really strong backup goalkeepers. So because of that, Fabianski's gone. Berisha's now promoted to second choice goalkeeper, and he's gone to Brighton as Horn remains our number 1. And also the most notable departure would probably be this guy right here, Federico Fernandez. He's gone to Liverpool for £6 million. Find it so interesting. Couldn't get a game here last year, and now he's gone to Anfield to hopefully establish a place in the first team. But in the first season, he was good, had a partnership with Ashley Williams, average rating of 7.0, played 32 league games, started them all. Last season, only 12 in the league, and 4 of those were off the bench as well. He just wasn't as good. He lost his place to Jordi Amat and never got it back, and I've signed a new centre-back for this year as well. So Fernandes has gone for £6 million, and I'll take it. We do make a loss on the guy, but I'll take it. We sell him, make a few mil, and we've replaced him as well. So that's good. That's totally fine. And those are the list of departures. And now, let's move on to the signings, eh? Very exciting. And the first of 7 players we signed for our new season is this guy, Dan Crowley, a former Arsenal youth team midfielder. I actually thought Dan Crowley was one of the better younger Arsenal prospects, but he was released for the next season, and I thought, do you know what, just like Nick Powell last season, we'll snap him up. He could be a decent young player, and he could turn out to be a good one in the future. He's on a low contract, £4,000 a week, and again, it's a low risk signing for us really. He comes in, he's immediately been loaned out to Bristol City, so he's gone to Ashton Gate for a year. They're paying his wages. Crowley's in, we'll take it. Not very exciting, but he's the first one. And the next guy we signed is this guy, Andreas Pereira from Manchester United. But just like Lingard last year, he's here on loan for the season, and we're just paying his wages. So Pereira's come in, and he's got some very decent stats. And I must say, I'm really excited about the prospect of this guy. Now, we got a future fee arranged with him of £9 million. I'm not sure if he'll be worth that or not, so I might not take it up. But he's got some very, very appealing stats. First touch 16, long shot 16, passing 15, technique 17, flair 19. I love players that got high flair on FM. Some okay mentals. He's quite a quick player as well. Good at set pieces. I mean, he looks like a really exciting player, the type of player that gets bums off seats, if you will. And he comes in as a player on loan, just paying his wages, totally fine with that. And again, a future fee of £9 million. It's not too exciting of a signing, but like Lingard last year, he turned out to be a success for us, so maybe Pereira could do the same. So in comes Pereira on loan, and we'll take it. And the next guy we signed is Jesse Lingard, who I just touched on right there. Yes, Jesse Lingard has indeed rejoined the club, this time on a permanent deal. Last year, of course, was here on loan, and he played pretty well. We had a future fee arranged of £5 million, and I felt as though he was one of those impact players, really came off the bench quite a lot, and whenever he was called upon, did a decent job, I feel. So because of that, £5 million, I felt as though it was worth taking United up on that offer. Not too happy seeing his red arrows, but for the most part, as a squad player, I think he'll do a decent job. So Lingard comes in on a permanent deal. Hopefully he'll settle here in Wales and prove to be a good acquisition. And our next signing is one I made because, well, I'm pretty biased, to be honest. Oh, Fred Onyedinma. Yeah, Onyedinma was signed for Swansea. And if you're not a Millwall or Wickham fan, you probably won't know about the guy, but he's a decent young prospect, and he had a loan spell at Wickham, but of course has spent the majority of his young career at the Den. And he was part of the Millwall side who got relegated in the game last year from the Championship back down to League One. But last season did pretty well with Millwall. In the 45 games he played, he got 6 goals and 5 assists as well. Did okay, and he had a relegation release clause of £1.6 million. Now, Palace met that, and I was told about it because I was scouting the guy, and I was like, well, I don't want to see him go to Selhurst Park, so I thought I'll meet it instead and see if he'll come here. So Fred Onyedinma's come in, and to be honest, I haven't just made it just because he is an ex-Millwall player, although that was a big reason. He's got some pretty decent stats, and again, he's only 20 years old, and he could become quite good in the future. He's certainly no worse, in my opinion, than Nathan Dyer or Modou Barra on the right-hand side. So because of that, I thought we'll sign him and see if he can do it. It's only £1.6 million, and we'll see what he can do. So he'll be coming in, and he'll do his job when called upon. And yeah, it's good to get a nice ex-Millwall player in the Swansea side. And moving on to the first of the 3 final signings, Ben Davies has rejoined Swansea. Yes, how about this? Davies is back at Liberty Stadium. Of course, he was part of the Swansea youth setup, then got sold to Spurs for £10 million. He never managed to establish himself, though, as a regular at White Hart Lane, and last season only played 1 Premier League game. And I thought, do you know what? It's time to bring you back to Liberty Stadium. You're clearly not settled at London. Come back to Swansea and try and take Neil Taylor's place. So Davies is in, 24 years old, 24 caps for Wales, and it's not a bad signing, over only £4 million, so Spurs make a loss of £6 million on the guy, and I'll take him too. And if we do qualify for Europe for next season, which is a big ask, but if we do, we'll need some homegrown players, and Ben Davies will meet that criteria. So in he comes, he's back at Liberty Stadium for £4 million. He'll compete with Taylor and Pereira, and I fancy him to become the first choice left back here again. I really do. And our penultimate signing is this guy right here, John Brooks from Arsenal in the game, but of course formerly of Hertha Berlin. Now of course the American centre-half, 24 years old. It's crazy to think he's only 24 years old. He seems to be one of those players who you think's been around for a lot longer than he really has, but he's 24 years old. He was on the transfer list at Arsenal, and I don't know why they signed him. I really don't, because they bought him from Hertha in the first year for £10 million. He played 6 games, and last season didn't play a single competitive game. He didn't play one game, not even off the bench for Arsenal. So clearly that was a useless signing. And he comes in for 6.5 mil, and we'll take it. He'll be a squad player. He won't take the place of Marlon or Ashley Williams, but we'll take it. He comes in for £6.5 million, and let's move on to the final signing. So 7 signings in total, and I know what you're sitting there thinking. My word, these were really underwhelming, because the final guy we signed is this guy, Hugo Malo, or Hugo Mayo, not sure how you would pronounce that. If you've got any Spanish fans that watch me, do feel free to let me know, or just people that understand how to pronounce names better than me, most likely all of you. But Hugo Malo's come in, and he went to Bayern Munich in the game from Celta Vigo. First Barcelona for £11.5 million, and then to Bayern Munich. So clearly 2 big clubs thinking he's got the talent, but he just didn't play too many games. And last season was sent on loan to Bayern Munich's reserve side. Is it their reserve side? Bayern Munich 2. But either way, wasn't going to get much game time at Bayern, obviously. So he was on the transfer list. I put in a bit of £6.75 million. They said yes, and he comes to the Liberty Stadium. Now he's on 55 grand a week. He should take Kieran Trippier's place. Unfortunately not for today because he's not match fit yet, but still looks pretty decent. Crossing 13, tackling 15, marking 14, positioning 15, teamwork 15, stamina 15. He's quite quick as well, mentally very good for a 26-year-old, and I like the look of the guy. I really do. Kieran Trippier is a more than capable right back, but I like the look of the guy, and for £6.75 million, I'm not going to say he's a bargain, but I think it's a pretty decent deal. So really, with the transfers we've done with Swansea, I will say that they're not the most exciting, and I understand that. We spent £23.8 million, and none of these guys are what you would call big names, but to be honest, we've done what we've needed to do. We've improved the depth, we've improved the first team, and we've still got a bit of money left in the kitty as well. So I'm happy with the signings, and I know you guys are sitting there thinking, my word, I mean, could you be more boring? But to be honest, I'm fine with that. I didn't see the point in splashing like all of our £30 million on a big name. I felt as though if we're going to get into Europe, we're going to need a fixed squad, and I feel as though these signings will help us get into Europe this season for next year. I trust this squad, I really do. So I like the transfers, and everything's positive, apart from one thing. Wayne Routledge will not leave the club. At all, ever, and I am so frustrated about this. I have been trying to get the guy out of the club since day one, and I offered him out for a free once again, and he turned down 4 deals. First Bradford, then Wolves, then Ipswich, then Nottingham Forest, because he wants to stay at Swansea. Why do you want to stay at Swansea? I wonder why. 36 grand a week. What moron put him on 36 grand a week? The guy is a fraud, absolute fraud. I'm trying to get rid of the guy as much as I can, because I don't want to pay his bloated salary, but the guy just wants to keep on eating the cash. I absolutely hate him, I really do. I'm sure he's a lovely guy in real life, but in Football Manager, he's doing my nutting. I cannot wait to get rid of the guy, but unfortunately, it looks as though we're going to have to wait until the 30th of June 2018 when his contract runs down, because he simply won't leave the club because he loves collecting his fat paycheck. You selfish, greedy boy. But anyway, moving on, this is the squad we have for Season 3, and I must say I'm pretty pleased with the group of players we currently have right now, and I definitely feel we have what it takes to finish in Europa League place going into Season 4. So it's a good team, I've made some additions to it, and I really feel as though at the very, very least, we should be once again targeting a place in the top 10, and I feel like now, anywhere below 10th place, and the season will be considered a disaster. We've got a good squad of players here, we've got some good first 11 players, the depth of the squad is very good now too, and I feel as though we have what it takes to qualify for Europe for Season 4, so pleased with that. And also as well, Gylfi Sigurdsson has signed a new contract. He was out of the contract next year, so he could have left for free for Season 4 onwards, and he had interest from Marseille, he had interest from Spurs once again, he had interest from another European club that I can't remember the name of, but either way, he had some interest from some bigger clubs than Swansea, but we've tied the guy down for a 5-year deal. He's here until 2022. Siggy's going absolutely nowhere. Fans Player of the Year 2 years in a row. It would have been disastrous to lose him. So Siggy stays, hashtag Siggy stays, and I'm absolutely delighted. In fact, out of all the signings we've made, I'd say this is our best signing the guy to a new contract. So that's fantastic. And so this is our side for match day 1 in Season 3 in the Premier League. We're playing a 4-4-1-1. Now this isn't the side we'll normally be going with this season, but there are a couple of injury and fitness problems, and I'll explain those as we go along. Timo Horn starts in goal, back for Ben Davies, making his second debut for Swansea, Ashley Williams, Marlon and Kieran Trippier. Further forward, Ayew on the left, Brandt on the right, and a midfield double of Crane, Vitter and Benteke. Further forward, attacking midfielder is Pereira, making his debut on loan for Swansea, and Callum Wilson is our lone striker. On the bench, Berisha, Brooks, our new signing, Taylor, Cork, Lingard, permanent signing, Bonnie, and Fernando Torres as well. So I find it funny how the biggest and most expensive signing we made in Hugo Malo isn't even making the bench for the first game. How hilarious is that? Well, anyway, this is the team we picked, and yeah, I'm optimistic. We can get off to a good start on match day 1. We'll be feeling confident, and let's see if we can get it. We're away from home, but I fancy our chances. Let's get the job done. All right, so first highlight the season, and it's encouraging because we had the ball here. Pereira, our new signing on loan, still Pereira on the ball, tackle, but it'll come towards Bentaker on the ball, storming into the area, shot takes a deflection, Hennessy turns behind for a corner, Rodrigo almost starting the season off with our first goal, unlucky there, and our second highlight falls here with Trippier playing a long ball through towards Callum Wilson, who goes through, and Hennessy makes the save, and the Welsh goalkeeper turns behind for a corner, Wilson denied on the 1-on-1, very good start here, but still goalless, Pereira with the corner, swings it in, Hennessy claims it. Another highlight here already. It's been a very action-packed start to the game as Davies finds our skipper Ashley Williams through towards Andre Ayew. He finds Pereira. What can the young man do here as he goes down left-hand side? Come on, you got 19 flair. Do something special. Well, that was a simple pass to Craneville. We'll take it. Bentaker now plays that wide. That was lovely. Julian Brandt down the right-hand side. What can Brandt do here? Former Leverkusen winger crosses Wilson. Great save by Hennessy again, and then he hits the post, and then Bentaker has his shot saved, and then Wilson's offside. Where's the luck? Come on. Oh, and now Bentaker's injured. This is just, come on, man. This is the first game. Why does everything always go wrong? Corner for Swansea, Pereira takes it, swings it to the far post, Craneville's header finds the back of the net, gets in, just his second goal for the club I do believe, and Matthias Craneville makes it 1-0, a debut assist for the Brazilian attacking midfielder. He's got good set piece stats and he proves it there, good corner to the far post, picks out the Argentine, and you'll see this in 3D, a lovely floated corner to the far post, Craneville rises highest through the crowd of bodies and finds the top corner, can't stop that one Wayne, 1-0 Swansea, get in. So less than 4 minutes to go, we still lead by a goal. Not much really going on in the second half. Palace haven't created a single clear-cut opportunity in the entire game, and I'd imagine that is going to be that as the game comes towards its close. Final chance for Palace then. Can they get an equalising goal? Across the centre, they can't find a man in the box. Timo Horn claims it, and that should be that. So we will win on match day 1 in the Premier League. That is fantastic. And again, not the most dominant or convincing of wins, but we'll take the 3 points regardless. A Craneville header separating the two sides, and 6th place from the first game. Well, I've got Europa League ambitions. This is the way to start with a win right off the bat. So Crystal Palace 0, Swansea 1. That is the final score at Selhurst Park. We welcome them back with a defeat for them, and we get ourselves the 3 points. And what a game for Pereira, 9.0 getting the assist. Very, very good indeed. I said there could be something special about the guy, and there certainly is. So Pereira did well, and we won the game, not comfortably, but a routine victory, I suppose. And we'll take the 3 points. We'll take the 3 points, will we, Docs? We'll take the 3 points. I mean, no, we'll just lead them. We'll lead the 3 points. We won the game, but forget it. You can have the 3 points, Palace. We'll take the 3 points. What are you talking about? And Bentaker's injury is a 5 to 6 week one. He's out with sprained ankle, and we'll take it, if that makes sense, because it could have been a lot worse, and I guess it's not too bad. But that would end the first episode then of the new season with Swansea, and episode number 17 of the series. I hope you have enjoyed it. We win on match day 1, delighted with that, and I'm going to return with games against... let's go with Manchester United and Everton in late September and early October. So I'll play a few games off camera, come back for those games away at Old Trafford and Goodison Park, and see how we're getting on. So thanks for watching today's episode. Hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed today's episode in my Football Manager series, then please do leave a like. Likes are of course much appreciated, and they really help the channel grow as well. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic evening, and I'll see you for the next episode in my Football Manager series very soon.